All right. I know it's only the starter, and I'm back. But I think for a really special treat, we did a competition to have speakers for the benefactors dinner, and we had a wonderful speaker who won the competition for the benefactors dinner. But we had an incredible runner-up who spoke with great intensity on a really important message, and we thought about it, and we thought we'd really like to ask Adam to come and speak tonight. And he's going to speak for 6 minutes, so you'll barely be done your buns. 7. Okay, I'm sorry, 7. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Adam Mastroianni. Did I get that right? No, I screwed that up somehow. He'll introduce himself. Who, who, who is an incredible young man with a really important message. Adam, take it away.
Thank you. Only the second best for the going down dinner. um, so, so one day when I was about 5 years old, I was playing in a room in my house that also held our iron and ironing board. And the iron was on, and my mom called from the other room, "Adam, don't touch the iron." But I didn't hear her correctly, and I thought she said, "Adam, touch the iron." So I touched the iron, and it was very hot, and I burned myself really bad, and she doesn't like that I tell that story. But I think what drove me to touch the iron is the same thing that has driven me all the way here today. My whole life, I've done whatever I thought would make other people happy, without question. I went to confession because Catholic school told me that God would love me more. I stayed up all night doing a science fair project because it got me a blue ribbon. I became a comedian because I realized jokes could win me friends. All of these were just different ways of touching the iron, of doing whatever it would take to win validation, no matter how much it hurt. And guess what? That looks great on applications. Seek validation long enough, and you'll rack up prizes for academics, exultant letters of recommendation, and the masthead of a prestigious college to put on top of it all, and maybe even a Rhodes Scholarship. Paradoxically, the Rhodes is supposed to convince you that you don't have to chase achievement anymore. But the problem is, you got it probably because you were so good at chasing achievement in the first place. That's much like saying to someone addicted to morphine, "Hey, you don't have to be addicted to morphine anymore, but before you stop, here is the purest, biggest dose of morphine you've ever taken." We all know how much sublime validation comes with this scholarship, but only when you look at it from a distance do you realize just how important it is to wean yourself off of it and how hard that is to do. After selection, Princeton put me on a stage in front of 10,000 people. My hometown erected a sign in my honor. Bill Clinton sent me a personal note. The Facebook status I posted got 492 likes. Given that embarrassing amount of approval, how could I ever do anything after Oxford where I don't get those constant jolts of validation? How could they do experiments, where they put an electrode into mice's brains, right into its pleasure center, and they give the mice a lever they can push to deliver themselves a jolt of dopamine? Do you know what happens to those mice? They pull the lever until they starve to death. That's why I hope if being here taught you guys anything, and if it's teaching me anything, it's to stop touching the metaphorical iron, to stop our brain-dead pursuit of achievement. I want to be cured of this addiction more than I want a stipend increase, or a sunny day in Oxford, or a pint of British beer with, flavor. I want it because I can see laid out in front of me the life I will live if I don't change course. It's a life of awards and respect and admiration, all amassed just because it feels good. It's a frighteningly alluring life, not because there's anything quite wrong with it. It's just there's not enough right. But after 24 years of touching the iron, I can't stop without help. I need people to show me what it's like to live a life instead of a resume. I need a community who won't let me slip out of Oxford without explaining where I'm going and what I intend to do when I get there. I don't need my cohort to disown me or Charles Kahn to put me in a headlock until I promise to build an orphanage or give away 90% of my income. But I do need people who refuse to be impressed by empty excellence, even if those people ultimately disagree with me or with each other about what I should do instead. I need, in essence, You guys. Because if I ever stop thinking critically about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, I'll slide helplessly toward whatever gives me the most trophies, just as I always have. And I don't think I'm the only one. I don't know if there is an objectively right thing to do after Oxford, or for the rest of our lives. And I've been on the listserv enough to know that if there is an objectively right answer, half of you will still disagree with it. I don't know how we should pick between things like McKinsey or Yale Law or the Peace Corps or being a stay-at-home parent, or, as one scholar from 1998 describes herself on the open forum, a nature-based psychotherapist and shamanic practitioner. But with each other's help, maybe we can pierce the allure of prestige and find the meeting point between what makes us happy and what we're good at and what the world needs from us. But that will only happen if we're willing to question each other, not just in snarky email threads, but in actual, difficult, authentic conversations that we have with each other, because these are our friends, and we love each other, and we want the best for and from each other. I was lucky enough to be at the dinner where the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Rhodes Scholarships in China. All of the Chinese elites present that night spoke about the prestige of the scholarship, but nobody said anything about the purpose of all that prestige. Over the course of the night, I realized that most people in the room knew only the same two facts that I knew when I applied for the scholarship. One, that it is prestigious, and two, that it is prestigious because it is prestigious. It's up to us to show both them and the world that the Rhodes Scholarship is more than a platinum line on a CV. And I tried, but unfortunately all I know how to say in Chinese is Wu Yao Shi Hum Bao Bao, which means I want a hamburger. So I didn't get far, but I did eat well that night. But even if I could have spoken to them fluently, I'd still be working in the wrong language. Eloquent speeches won't convince anyone about the character of the Rhodes Scholarships. The Rhodes Scholarships will always be judged by the lives that Rhodes Scholars choose to live. If we turn out automatons bent on achievement, scholars and senators and CEOs who are no different from their non-Rhodes colleagues, then people will view the scholarship as a silver-plated shortcut to the top of society, and they'll treat it as such. But if Rhodes Scholars are, in the language that I am allowed to use here tonight, stirring crap up, using whatever positions they have to push relentlessly for change in a way that no one else is brave enough to do, then that is a scholarship worth its money, and it's taking one step, however tiny, to rectify the injustices done by the man whose name we bear. That's why I hope a Rhodes Scholar will be the doctor who sets up hospitals in Syria that refuse to close during conflicts. I hope a Rhodes Scholar will be the first woman to graduate from Ranger School in the American Army, paving the way for the full and equal participation of women. I hope a Rhodes Scholar will be the policeman who helps a neighborhood trust law enforcement again. And none of these are far-fetched because all of them are aspirations of current scholars. But to make any of them real, we need to help each other blast through the bull crap that distracts us, and debunk the cute stories we're so good at spinning about our lives no matter what choices we make. We need to help each other take our hands off the iron. A scholar from the 70s once told me that the Rhodes gives you the benefit of the doubt for the rest of your life. It's not exactly a blank check, but it is as close as anybody gets. I hope we can all do something better than put it in the bank and live on the interest. Thank you.